Hello, it's me, Sari, here again, and today I'm here to give you a couple of tips on how to make more out of your stuff that you got at home when it comes to stamps, die cuts and such, and if you want to combine all those things into Project Life. So let me get started here. I have made a card just by stamping a grass stamp from Vilda and a couple of butterflies there, and I put a stamp there that says that you light up my day or something like that, and then I just ink the edges there and put it on a yellow piece of cardstock, and this one will be pretty bright card in a Project Life layout pocket thingy there, you see. And I also made something with taking a journey or something. Even a 1,000-mile hiking starts with the first step, and I love those boots from Vilda Stamps. They are in one of those kits, and I've also made these stamps here as to the steps that I'm going to take, or anybody's going to take really. And I do like to grunge things up, so that is why I have dragged the ink pad around the edges there. I wanted to give you a heads up, or just a tip on how to make use of your leftover pieces of when you have die cut some letters. I did have the alphabet in its regular order when I started die cutting these. After that I have splitted them up so I can actually shape the words however I want to later, but that is my tip. So just make sure that you have enough paper to do your die cut, so you can actually get a nice inner piece and then put it in a bigger frame, so to speak. And if you're going to make them, why not make them in several colors? You can actually have a really nice thing to choose from. And then you can just put these in your pockets and perhaps even put something on top here. I have seen that there are some chalkboard cards like this that actually have marked the I and the O, which they have made into a heart, and the U. So I love you, they have stated out in a different color, so that's a nice way to actually high point things. And then I got myself a wood veneer banner, and I thought that this was going to be perfect in size for putting on a 3 by 4 inch card. So if you just have one of these, or just make your own template, I did so with this one. Just drew it like so, and then I used a square punch to go into the square there. It's not easy always, but let's imagine that I do have the paper intact here. I'm just going to take a square punch. It needs to be a little bit bigger, I think, to be working properly, but then I just line it up there and give it a squeeze, and then I'm ending up with a piece like this. And depending on how small punches you've got, you can make these into many templates actually. So it's a plus tip there. And then when it comes to these shapes, these come from Technique Tuesday, and I do love them actually. I mean, many people do, and they have run out of them at Technique Tuesday, it seems like, because there's a long waiting time before the companies that get them in again. So here is one with a banner. Let's see if I can find one. There should be one somewhere. Well, I could show you this one again. I have shown you this before. So this is a nice looking banner with the craft color there, isn't it? But you could also make use of the negative piece of the banner and put it on a piece of paper like so. And what I want to show you with these cards is that you don't have to limit yourself to making just a 3 by 4 inch cards. You could actually make them into bigger cards. You could make regular cards with them. You could actually put them on your scrapbook pages as well. So you don't need to limit yourself to just the Project Life thingies. Here's just a regular that makes the shape of a 3 by 4 inch thing, if you would like the corners rounded. I'm not the girl who likes that. I just want them to be square. Here's another one that I seem to use quite a lot. This is the one. It does make the black frame there and also gives me the circle there. And you could also go for the negative, as I have done so, in a different color, or you could just put it like that And the fine thing with these are that you can actually make them either horizontal or vertical, in either way, and you could just do a little bit of decorating and they will look just fine, I think. Let's see if I have any more of those. I got this one. You can see it just have a simple statement there, and you could do your journaling in white perhaps. So I think that was about that. Here's another one with a banner. I actually bought myself some plastic which is heat resistant, and then I embossed the statement here. What a fun week. And this is a stamp that I have designed for Vilda Stamps actually. And here I used the banner and just put it on top there and made a white frame to go with it, so it would actually pick up the whiteness there. So it's a fun technique to use also. And let's see if I can find this one. I'm trying all of these things out, you see. With this one you can die cut. If you just imagine the black shape here, it looks like something that you're torn out of a notebook or something. But I decided on cutting it out of a little bit bigger piece of paper, so I could spare that or use the negative for something else. And on this case, or in this case, I have just put it on a piece of a card, so I can make it into a regular card. I put the same kind of plastic on the inside, and I'm thinking of actually doing some emboss stamping on the inside, so it would look white or something, so it would actually pop out through the window a little bit better. And then we have this speech bubble, which is pretty handy to use. I haven't got that many examples to show you this time, I'm sorry. I have to wait with that one actually. And when it comes to the arrow dies, I haven't got it yet. I have ordered it, but I have to wait for it. There are two different ones. This is the first one. There's another one also, which actually has the arrow pointing towards the frame. But I like these arrows. I mean, arrows are my thing, I must say. And you can also make these in different shapes and directions. You could actually have it like that also if you wanted to. So we were here. It's another stamp that I have designed for the Vilda Stamps. And this stamp does actually come in 2 sizes in the same package. So you could have lots of fun making it into a regular statement like so. Or you could just punch it or stamp it on a little bit smaller piece of paper and make it into an inch decoration. Here's a lovely die. It could be, I think it's memory box actually. Looks like this. And you can decide for yourself how big you want the frame to be. You could actually make this into a 4x6 card also if you wanted to. And just keep it really simple, putting a piece of paper in the background, perhaps putting on an arrow or just doing some doodling or writing there by hand. So that is going to be a nice card also, I think. Then I have started playing around with some different color combos. Somehow I'm drawn to the turquoise color, or the blue color perhaps I should say, together with the yellow. It could have to do with the Olympics now, Sweden getting a couple of medals. It could be, I'm not sure, but it could be. And my jealousy for not the Finns actually winning something could be that is why I have to put some white in here. I'm just kidding with you, of course. So in this case I have used the regular arrow thingy. I put a black arrow there and a white in the center. I put a stamp there from Vilda Stamps, favorite photo. And then I put a couple of more arrows there just to give this card a bit more busyness. In this case I kept it simple, using the circle die, and I put it on a white piece of paper and then some yellow, and I played with a star that I die cut and I inked it up with some ink, and then I put the stamp there that says hey or hi. And I put it on a craft piece of cardstock in the background, and it's a really simple card, and I'm thinking that looks rather nice. And this one especially could go as a regular card, I think. Then I made something for those that actually graduate and finish school, so I decided on keeping the colors here as well. This is also a stamp from Vilda Stamps that I have cut out twice. The circle text goes around it, but I wanted to highlight it even more, but just by cutting it out like that. And here is that banner die that I have used. Here's the white one is the negative, so it actually looks like I have used the blue one perhaps, but it's just the opposite way. And here's a bit hysterical one. I wanted to play around with a splotchy stamp there and hip hip hooray, stamp there from Vilda Stamps, and the stars and also the arrows here. And then I'm going to continue with just a couple of things more. This is also a color combo I've started to like a lot. Blue and red and white and black, of course. So I started out making this one using the arrow die there and just putting on a bigger frame in the background. This is what I wanted to talk to you about, really, now to come think of it. Let's see if I have those here. Let's say you're going to just die cut the arrow shape here from the get-go. Make sure you have a piece of paper that is a little bit bigger than that. In this case, this one is 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. In that case, I get a perfect square around it, so I can actually pick up the whiteness or whatever color I'm using. And a piece of ribbon here just makes this one pop a little bit nicely there. And in this case, I just copied this one, but I wanted to go with the star that I have die cut, and this is also a stamp that I have made. It's such a fun week. And I tried making something different with this one. I have actually used some tissue tape from Tim Holtz. I did like this tape, and I put it on a piece of white paper and glued it down underneath the orange paper here. And then I wanted to continue working with the orange theme, so I die cut a circle out of orange paper, and then I used a speech bubble die cut like this, and I put another stamp of mine there. Such a fun week there. And then I die cut the numbers 4 and 9, making it into a week 49 card. It could be fun, you never know. So, talking about these speech bubbles, you could actually have quite a lot of fun with these. I mean, sure, you have some small stamps at home just waiting to get used or be used, and in this case I did have these two at home. These are, I think, from Marvi, and they look like this. So what I did, I just die cut them or punched them out of different colors of paper. This one is actually double-sided or two-sided, and then I just inked up the edges just to give it a little bit of a definition there, so it could actually work as a stamped bubble speech bubble as well. And here's another stamp that I have designed for Vilda Stamps, a really small one, as you can see. This means everything to me right now. And this one also comes in 2 sizes. So just go ahead, look at what you got in your die or punch stash and go wild. And let's see if I could just show you. I found this arrow in this set from Sizzix with a big cog there, and also a pointer thing and an arrow. So I'm going to have some fun with these, I'm thinking. Also, make sure you gather up your label dies so you can make some beautiful statements on them. Here's another tab die there and some circles and such. I'm sure you could make use of these. Here are the leftover pieces from those Technique Tuesday dies. There's a beautiful bracket there. There's a wonky banner and a regular banner and a button and everything. And here are the two speech bubbles that I bought yesterday. I do like them actually. And there are a couple of stars there from Memory Box. I've got some cameras and a mobile phone and a Polaroid camera and everything. There's a bit of a heart there and such. You could make use of them, I'm sure. Then I've got some ticket and tag dies from Magnolia's Doohickey collection. And I've also got some triangles that I could use as banners. And some ticket. And some regular for the pocket page thingies. And I do like this Polaroid camera photo thing dies. And to finish things off, I'm just going to show you this one. The beautiful banners from Spellbinders, which also have these long fishtail ended. Yeah, I just have to show you one more thing. I'm sorry about to be such a messy person here. In order, or as I go along, I get more and more die cuts as I go along. So I've decided on just putting them in small boxes like this. And in this case, I'm just going to keep my stars in here. Here I'm keeping some of the banner frame things that I've die cut. And here are some different shapes. Here are those speech bubbles I was talking about earlier. So the good thing about those, of course, is that you can get both the negative and the positive. So you can just put these on a piece of card and perhaps a white frame around it. So it could be really nice looking, I think. And just having these flat boxes with a label on really helps me to find what I'm looking for. Here I've got those with the arrows, and you can see that I do like them quite a lot. That is why I have die cut them so many of them. Here I have some different shapes, keys and everything, and here are some arrows, easy to keep and store. Or there are some hearts and stars also, I can see. Here are some stamped images from Vilda Stamps, and here are just some circles and such. So that is my way of actually handling Project Life. I think I'll stop here, and perhaps I'll come back with another video showing different kinds of albums that I have started liking. So I think I'll just make pause here. Alright, bye bye.